Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Lemongrass Team Building Bootcamp. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm going to really begin by sharing my screen with my PowerPoint presentation so that we can get started. Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready for bootcamp? Isn't this exciting? I am Gail Bates, and I'm an international business coach, and I'm the creator of the Calendar Girls team booking system. I am the owner of MyMentorBiz.com coaching services, and that's where I help leaders in direct sales get consistent bookings, maximize their income streams, and grow million-dollar teams. And I really want to give each one of you a big shout out today for just taking the time to join this bootcamp and master the skills of recruiting over the next 4 weeks. So we are going to begin this week with week 1 study guide. So I want to make sure before you listen to all of this, you print out your study guide, because that's part of the learning of this whole boot camp. And as we go through the webinar, you're actually going to see on the screen the page where you're at, okay? So what I'm going to do is take you on a journey to learn the steps to strengthen and master the skills of building a strong team that you want in your direct sales business. Now, I don't want you to miss anything in this course. So number 1, here's the thing. You want to make sure you fill out that information sheet that I emailed you for your special one-on-one session, and making sure that you sign up with the link that I sent you so that you can schedule the session with me, okay? So number 2, we're going to be holding that midweek mastermind bootcamp call or live on Zoom on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I really want to encourage you not to miss these. They are mastermind calls where you have to kind of be in the moment to learn what everybody's discussing and the ideas. That's what masterminding is about. It's kind of brainstorming. Everyone's contributing, everyone's learning, and your contribution actually matters. I will record these, but it won't be the same as if you're live, okay? And I have set up that secret Facebook group, which if you're not in it, for some reason we haven't connected, make sure you get in there, because that's where you can really get access to me, ask any questions, or share your feedback along the way of this 4-week journey. And just remember that your questions and comments count in there. So don't think it's a silly or a question or that everybody knows this. That's what that platform is for, is to help you learn, okay? And I love it when you share, because when you're sharing with others, you're contributing to others and you're giving value to others. So let's use this wonderful social media platform to connect and learn and help each other. Okay, so first today, I want to begin by sharing with you my $1 million team. Oh my gosh, what a team it was. You know, when I joined direct sales, I just dabbled for 6 months because I'd never heard of direct sales before. I didn't have any possibility of what was available in this industry. So after 6 months and my first convention, I got it, okay? I believe that if I really worked hard at selling and booking and recruiting and just growing that team, it was possible for me to earn a 6-figure income. And the reason I knew that was possible is that others in my company were doing it. So I want you to stop for a moment and write down if you believe, you truly believe, that you can earn enough money that you want in your direct sales business. And think about it. How much do you want to earn with your business per year? Is it $20,000? Is it $50,000? Is it $100,000? Because the key here is you have to believe that you can earn the money you want. You have to believe in your products, your company, and this wonderful industry in direct sales. And you have to believe in it passionately, okay? So for me, the first year, I did parties everywhere. I grew my client base. I actually became a top recruiter, and then my team really began to grow. And first we were a $5,000 team. Then we were a $10,000 team, and we became a $50,000 team, and then we began to hit the $500,000 mark, and the next year we made it to the 2/3 million mark. And when we hit the million, we just went on growing to the next million and the next and the next. And for the next 5 years, we were always in that $1 million circle. And we did hit the #1 team in the nation a couple of times. So the reason that I'm telling you this, I want to really introduce you to my team. We were a group of dynamic women who were proud to be part of a powerful team that hit goals when we set them. And we had many national incentive winners on that team. Now, this is a strategy, okay? I want you to write that down. Many national incentive winners. And by a national incentive winner, I'm talking about a trip earner, somebody who would sell 16,000 or more, 60 to 20,000 in 6 months, and recruit people and earn a top award from the company, just like your company offers you the trip every month. We were also a team who developed confidence by learning and helping others. We believed in running a successful home business. We loved being entrepreneurs and having our own home-based business. We dressed and looked like a professional always. We were actually in the fashion business, so we had to do that. We focused on helping others be successful, and we earned part-time or full-time income, each one of us, that paid for school tuition, it paid for car payments, it paid for credit card debt, and so much more. And this is actually the compound effect of what it takes, what happens when you build a really strong team. So we also, as a team, chose our own working hours, which gave us flexibility and independence. And we were dedicated to having financial security, because with financial security, we had the freedom to enjoy being our own boss and be there for our families. And most importantly, as a member of our $1 million team, we had fun. We had fun working together, and we had fun supporting each other in our business. So what I've told you and shared with you about my $1 million team, basically, is that these were core values, okay? These were core values that we operated from in my $1 million team. And these were the words or values that we all communicated everywhere we went. It was the culture of our team, of belonging to our team, that really attracted others to join our team. Those values emanated from each one of us. So it's important that you get very clear with the core values on your team. As we move through these exercises over the next 4 weeks, you will want to establish these core values. So many people think that recruiting is hard. They think they're being pushy, and they're afraid to ask people because they fear that someone will think they're bothering them. But what you'll learn in this boot camp is that people are actually out there everywhere who are looking for an opportunity just like yours. So when you come from a place of building a team with your true core values, those people who are looking will find you, because you will emanate those values everywhere you go. So I want you to write on page 2 of your workbook your core values, your own core values. What do you want to radiate out to the world to build your own $1 million team? What do you value? Is it building confidence in others? Is it earning income for the family? Okay, be thinking about that and writing that down. And make sure you do write it down on that page. Okay, next, we are still on actually page 2. So it's time to create what I call a visual. How many of you have a whiteboard in your office? If you don't have a whiteboard, get a clipboard, okay? On your whiteboard or on your clipboard, just with a piece of paper, start drawing some circles. I want you to be very clear with creating your team qualifications, what it is you need to get to the next level in your business. So on your whiteboard, you want to begin by drawing circles. If you need 4 people to being a director, you're going to leave those 4 circles blank until you recruit your first person, and then you'll put her name in that circle. So if you've already got 2 people, then you put those 2 people's names in there and leave those other 2 blank because you're going to fill them in the next 4 weeks, okay? But the idea is to have this visual up on your whiteboard so it triggers you to take action every day. Now, if you're somebody who's developing leaders, then you want to draw a circle with the aspiring leader's name and draw circles under her and begin to fill in those circles. So it could be, you know, you're going to promote leaders or like team leaders, or you're promoting directors. So you want to be doing the circles for that. And on top of that, I want you to write down all the qualifications needed for you to hit that title. Your personal sales needed, your team volume, any other qualifications that it takes, and the name of your team. I want you to write all this on your whiteboard, everything you need to hit that leader level, that next leader level that you want to aspire to. Now, I want you to know this is a really powerful exercise, because having a visual in your office where you look at it every day is really about manifesting your goals. I really see so many people set their goals and hope and pray it happens. And really, they're hoping and praying because they're not clear with how to proceed. So that's your first exercise. If you don't have a whiteboard, write it on a piece of paper, put it on a clipboard, stand it up right next to your computer so you look at it every day. But once you're clear with your vision, then we're going to work on building confidence and mastering the skills on recruiting these people and filling those circles. When you have clarity with your vision, you have clarity with your energy, you're ready to take focus on taking action. So in the next 4 weeks, I'm going to teach you these skills and also strategies to recruiting and growing a strong team of business builders, people who want to build a business. But I do want you to remember, as you grow your team, it is just so important to remember this, that you're going to grow your team one recruit at a time, okay? It took me 3.5 years to grow $1 million team, but I did have a vision, just like I'm sharing with you today. I had this whiteboard, I looked at it every day, and I saw that this was just a great way to earn a fantastic income. So as you grow your team one recruit at a time, and each team member comes on board, you create a team culture that everyone wants to belong to in your team. That's why I wanted to introduce you to my $1 million team. It was that culture, that sense of belonging that attracted others to join my team. And it was my systems, like the Calendar Confidence system and my Calendar Girls team booking system and other systems that I'm going to share with you, that made the difference in us heading to the top of the company. Okay, so let's now turn to page 3 in your study guide and begin the process of mastering these skills. So one of the biggest success systems in growing my $1 million team was implementing what I called the magic 6-pack of parties. What is a 6-pack? It's simply holding at least 6 parties every month. Now, I call it one a week, 1 party a week with a hostess, plus 2 extra. The 2 extra could be a catalog party, a Facebook party, a home show, but it's extremely important that you have at least 4 parties with hostesses every month. In fact, the more parties you hold with hostesses, the more chances you have of recruiting more people. Why? Because when you hold a magic 6-pack every month consistently, this puts you in front of at least 50 or 60 or more people every month. And when you're meeting, conversing, getting to know 50 to 60 people every month, you're going to meet these people, and I call them prime prospects, who are looking for your opportunity. So I want you to get into the habit of holding a magic 6-pack consistently every month, because it is the first step to the monthly success formula. On page 3, you'll see a formula of numbers, and here's what those numbers mean. So I want you to write them down. The first number is 6. It's just basically holding 6 parties a month. When you hold 6 parties, and I want you to think about whether they are in-home parties with hostesses or Facebook parties. They both are the same, but I do believe that in-home parties with hostesses truly helps you build your business faster. Now, the 2 on this formula stands for 2 bookings, because in this bootcamp, we're going to learn the skill of getting 2 future bookings from every party. I want you to be confident with that, because this keeps your calendar full and you're always consistently in front of those 50 to 60 people every month. The 3 stands for handing out 3 recruiting packets to 3 prime prospects at every party. And I'm going to show you exactly how to discover those 3 people and who to hand them to. The 18, bigger number here, stands for what I call 18 Big Mac Connects. The MAC stands for Morning After Connect, or Morning After Call. And you're going to be making 18 of these every month. And the reason I say 18 is if you're holding 6 parties and you hand out 3 recruiting packets to 3 people, that's 6 times 3, that's 18 connects. And I'm really going to show you how to invite those people who are looking to learn more about your opportunity. Once you master this skill, you'll get into the rhythm of recruiting at least 1 to 2 people every month. The next 3 stands for 3 coffee chats or interviews or meetups, recruiting meetups that I want you to think about holding each week. Mastering the art of sharing your opportunity every week will lead to consistent recruiting. So let me review again. I want you to get very clear with this. 6 parties a month. Remember, 1 a week plus 2 extra. 2 future bookings from every party. 3 recruiting packets handed out at every party. 18 Big Mac calls per month or invitations to learn more about your business opportunity, and sharing your opportunity with 3 of these people every week. These are the skills we're going to work on and find ways for you to master, so your recruiting will become consistent every month and you will have new recruits on your team who want to build a business. So I want you to embrace this party business model of yours. Everything you want in your business comes from your party, because it is the best place for you to find prime prospects. That's why we focus on that magic 6-pack. It's so imperative to your recruiting. Consultants who think they can recruit without holding parties are kidding themselves, okay? Once you learn how to discover the prospects who are looking for your opportunity at your parties, okay, you're going to discover them, those that are looking for it. That's when you get so excited to work with this success formula. So at your parties, you achieve 3 possible income streams. And I'm sure you know this, but I want to review it with you again, because this is the cash flow that comes to you in your business. The first is the sales income. Now, I call this immediate income. That's when you hold a party and you go home with cash in your pocket that very same day, because someone, or that day because of your party, because people bought at your party immediately, okay? Or maybe someone gave you a credit card that you're going to deposit right in your bank account immediately because they placed their order. The second income stream is what I call booking income, because that's the future income that's coming to you. This gives you what I call stability in your business. You're knowing that your calendar is full every 4 weeks, month after month, and the cash will flow from each one of your parties. And the third income stream is what I call lifestyle income, because this is the commission income you make that when you recruit people that affects your whole lifestyle, okay? This is the opportunity you have to grow that income from $1,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 every month when you learn to master the skills of recruiting and building that dynamic team. So think about these 3 income streams, because these income streams are here for you, and it's a path for you to follow when you are following what I call the business model of your business, and that is the party. More importantly, though, it's at these parties where you build the best relationships. Okay, first you build a deep relationship with your hostess, and I have to tell you, hostesses make the best recruits. Next, you build relationships with each one of your guests, usually 6 to 8 guests, and this is, you're building relationships because you're in an intimate setting. These people have come to your party because they want your products. They enjoy getting to know you, and they love being with their friends. And these are the people that make the best recruits. Yes, you do meet people out and about, and you do meet people online, but the best recruits come from your parties. I believe it is also the fastest way to recruit qualified people who want to grow a business, and that is holding consistent parties every week, doing that six-pack every month. Now, I want to take a minute here and look at what I call your confidence factor. So on page 4, you'll see 3 phases of confidence in growing your direct sales business. Now, this is important to take a minute and listen to this. The first phase is when you first join, okay? You're new, you're learning how to coach hostess, you're learning how to present the products, you're learning to talk to people, you're learning how to write up orders, you're learning how to get bookings. You're going through a learning curve when you first join. Your focus is really on making sales. You want to usually pay back your kit investment. You want to prove that you can make money at this business. The second phase is when you've completed your first 6 parties, you're now getting experience and you're feeling more confident. You know you're going to make the sales. You know you're going to write up orders in seconds because you've learned how to do that. But now you want more parties. So your focus is on getting bookings. So at every party, you want to pay particular attention on planting booking seeds. You work with your hostess on which of her guests will be the first person to book, and you get really good at having your calendar ready to fill those next available dates on every 4 weeks. You've built that confidence in that second phase. Now, the third phase is when you know your sales are going to be $1,000 or more every time you hold a party. You're confident that you'll get 2 bookings, and so you arrive at every party with a specific focus on spotting the people who are looking for your opportunity. In phase 3, you are focused on finding 3 hot prospects from your parties to share more information. Now, here's what's important. When you are fully mastered in these skills and you're aware of your mastery, that's when you feel confident. And when you feel confident in your recruiting skills, you're going to let go of those negative voices in your head, like, oh, she wouldn't want to join, or, I don't think I could ask her. These are those little negative voices that stop you from recruiting, okay? You're going to let go of feeling anxious about what to say when you ask someone to join, because we're going to master that skill. You're going to let go of that desperate feeling inside that they're not interested because it's you. What will happen is that you'll get so good at discovering who is a prime prospect or hot prospect at your parties. You're going to feel so comfortable in sharing your opportunity with hundreds of people that you really want to do it every week. You won't have any fear about using the phone to follow up. You're going to begin to recognize prime prospects everywhere you go, and you'll become so confident when you close your interviews because you'll know exactly how to be a professional in doing that. And most of all, you'll begin to identify the right prime prospects, those that are truly looking for you and your business opportunity. So when you master your recruiting skills and you become confident in the 3 phases of your business, you will be recruiting easily, effortlessly, and consistently. So how many of you want this feeling, right? So I want you now to take a minute to determine what confidence phase you are at in your business and kind of like rate yourself in each one of the phases. So I want you to look at where you're at in your selling confidence on a scale of 1 to 10. So I want you to write in your number for each one of them on your selling confidence, your booking confidence, and your recruiting confidence. And as well, what I want you to write in each one is just write a little sentence of what you want to build your confidence in each one of those areas. Think about it. Where do you want to build your confidence in each one of those areas? What's missing for you? And I want you to share that on our Facebook page. So we're going to focus on recruiting confidence in this boot camp. But if you're having trouble with holding $500 or $1,000 parties, or you hold parties and you never or hardly ever get 2 bookings at every one party, I want you to make an effort to study those skills. And you can do that by listening to or getting my two CDs that are on my website. The first one is called Advanced Hostess Coaching. And that is a great CD to learn how to work with your hostess to have higher selling parties. And the second one is called Create a Wow Party Experience. And these are, that will share with you exactly how to go through your party and in 8 different areas to really improve those skills. Because I want to help you feel confident in all of these 3 areas of your business. Now let's move on to page 5 in your study guide. Okay, so you understand, I talk a lot about the calendar confidence system, okay? In keeping your calendar full every month. And I think most of you get that. That's using that green sticky note system. And we can go, I actually am going to go over that with you in a live video on our Facebook group. So be sure to watch that, okay? But I really want you to look at your week that has what I call a menu of events. And that's what's on here on page 5 of your study guide, okay? Each week, look at this menu, okay? And think about the 6-pack of parties that you want to hold, holding 1 party a week with a hostess. And then I want you to think about the extra parties you're going to do, a virtual party, a Facebook party, a catalog party, a fundraiser. These are great ways to expand your client base and find prospects for potential team members. I also did things called office lunch and learns, which I'll share more with you in our Facebook group. This is basically offering a quick 20-minute presentations to offices. It's a great way to expand your prospecting. But if you're truly committed to expanding your business, then pay attention to the vendor events and trade shows that are offered, especially at this time of year. Okay, I doubled my prospecting attending and working vendor events and trade shows, especially when I move to new areas. They are work, okay, but work means more business, okay, in my opinion. So if you want a copy of how to get the most out of trade shows and vendor events, I want you to email me, okay, at mymentorbiz@gmail.com. Okay, so the other thing I want to share with you is that right now I'm actually doing a series on how to get the most out of trade shows and vendor events on my team Facebook page, on my business Facebook page, my business Facebook page. That's My Mentor Biz. That's facebook.com, My Mentor Biz Coaching. And every Monday, I call it the Monday Minute Team Building Tip. So you might want to go there on Mondays and listen to the tips that I'm going to be sharing starting this Monday. So another way to expand is having a social media strategy, which is connecting with people online. And I know many of you do that when you hold your successful Facebook parties. So one of the tips that I'll give you today is what I recommend is that you connect with your guests who are attending the party before the party. Just a little instant message asking them how they're doing, would they like a catalog, or just asking them a question like, what do you have dry skin or oily skin? That begins the relationship part. So I would highly recommend that, okay? Because that's how you build relationships online. Okay, so it's these extra ways, these extra events that grew my business actually like wildfire. So if you're thinking you are stuck or can't get bookings or nobody wants to book with you, choose one or more of the things on this menu of events and watch your business take off. Now, I just want to review planting recruiting seeds with you today, because planting recruiting seeds is the key to you prospecting and finding those prime prospects who are looking for you. So, I was actually taught to plant 8 recruiting seeds at every party, but today I want to share with you what I call the 3 important seeds to use at every party. So now the number 1 seed is what I call your opening welcome at your party. I want you to get really, really good at this, because it's this seed that triggers someone to ask you a question. And so you simply welcome your guests and you just say why you joined, why you stay, and the difference your business has made to your life and your family. So I want you to write that down, and it's on that page for you to start working on this. Why you joined, why you stay, and the difference your business has made to your life and your family. Then you want to add the sentence that after you've said that. So if you or someone you know is interested in learning more about the lemongrass opportunity, business opportunity, please speak to me later. Again, get used to saying this at every party. These are words that are going to have people be alert to your business opportunity. So I want you to practice this. Get really, really good at it, because you've just planted a seed, okay? Where someone in the audience is thinking, gosh, she's just loving having her own business, and she's making money at this. And she says that this is paying for her kids' private school education. Maybe I should think about joining Lemongrass. So this is actually your number one best seed planter. So I want you to get really good with this. Nurture the seed, because the seed number 2 is what I call the getting to know you recruiting seed. So if you take the time to have a short, intimate conversation with each of your guests, sometimes that's a little difficult at your party, but I made an effort that I really wanted to get to know each one of those guests. So if you do that, you will discover your next recruit. Very quietly, you want to ask a few questions about her life, her family, and believe me, this will help you find that prime prospect who is looking for you, because she will say something that will trigger you to give her a recruiting packet. So the third recruiting seed is planting that recruiting seed is when someone asks you a question. And I call them these green flag questions. So someone's going to say, and I bet you've heard this before, how many nights do you do parties? Or do you really make money at this business? Or are all these products yours? Or maybe can I help you pack up? If you hear that one, believe me, that's somebody who's interested in your business opportunity. But these questions are triggers for you where people are prime prospects. So you really want to plant a seed with them and say something like, that's a great question. You know, my business is totally flexible. I hold 2 parties a week, and the money I earn pays for my kids' private school, my car payment, my mortgage, whatever it pays for. But when you've planted this seed, you want to make sure you give this person a recruiting packet, and you're going to follow up later. Now, let's move on to page 6. Let's get very clear about who is a prime prospect. A prime prospect is someone who has a need or a reason that you can help solve in their life with your business opportunity. It's as simple as that. So over the years, I've developed what I call the 12 main reasons why people join direct sales. In fact, I went through each one of the people who joined my very large team, and I identified each one of these 12 reasons for each one of them. So I want you to get very, very familiar with these 12 main reasons. And as I go through them, you might want to write some notes beside each one of them. So number 1, people join because they fall in love with the product, okay? Now you're going to see this at every party. You're going to see the person who says, oh, I want all of these, or they talk a lot about the product in front of people because they love it. They're gaga over it. This is actually the number 1 reason why most people join. Number 2 reason is that people join because they are looking for a second stream of income. Now, these people are out there actually looking for part-time jobs, and many of them work a full-time job and have more energy to add to their plate because they need that extra money. They need all of that money every month to make ends meet. So be aware of that. The number 3 are the people who need extra money but have something specific that they need, like maybe their goal is to pay off credit card debt. Or perhaps they want to save and they'd love to take their family to Disneyland. Or maybe they want to save for their kids' college tuition. They're very specific about the extra money and what they want to do with it. Number 4 are people who are looking for friendships. These are people who are looking for a sense of belonging. And you create this when we talked about those core values, right? You have people on your team who are positive, they're fun, and this is the very reason why many people want to join. They just want to belong to that kind of a team. Number 5, these are people who want to be their own boss. They've never owned their own business before. They've always worked a job. And they're impressed with the low startup of a direct sales business, and they want to learn how to be their own boss. Number 6 are those people who need to work but needs those flex hours. This could be stay-at-home moms who need to work, and a part-time job is still rigid with hours, but doing business and making money, being flexible around their kids and their lifestyle really works for them. Number 7 are those stay-at-home moms who are craving adult conversation. These are those who are homebound and want a way to get out of the house. Now, this could also be someone like a caregiver who needs another avenue outside of the home. Number 8 are the people who understand direct sales and are willing to put in the time and energy to build a 6-figure business. Yes, these people are out there who are looking for your opportunity, and I'm going to show you how to find them. Now, number 9 is, have you met somebody recently who said they would love to have their own money? They rely solely on their husband's or partner's money, because this person is really looking for your opportunity. Number 10 is that person who loves recognition and praise, and they're so attracted to the direct sales industry and specifically your team when they see how much recognition it offers. This person actually is usually the life of every party. She's a prime prospect at every party. Number 11 is that person who's looking for a fun job. And this is usually a corporate person who hates her job, or somebody who just is looking for some fun so that she can make some extra income. And number 12 is what I call that lifelong learner, that person who is looking to grow and learn from others. She sees you blossoming before her eyes. You're positive, your professional outlook, and people are learning from you. This is one of the great reasons some people want to join direct sales. Then we have what I call the diva. This is an acronym that stands for D, a person who is direct and knows how to make a decision. This person doesn't have to ask anyone if she wants to join. She'll just sign on her own terms. The I stands for influence. She knows a ton of people, and people are influenced by her. The V is a person who has vision and knows how to plan. And the A is a person who is action-oriented and has a positive attitude. Now, the diva is that person who walks into a room and just makes an entrance. She's the one you'd love to have on your team. In fact, you will notice her immediately. So I want you to look for divas. Look for them at every party. Look for them at networking events. Look for them out and about wherever you go. Now, here's the thing. I want you to do this little exercise, and I really want you to do this. Get a 3x5 card and write down these 12 reasons on a card, number 1 through 12, so that you look at them every day, and more specifically, you look at them before you attend every party that you do. Then, and I really want you to do this, take a picture, snap a picture on your phone of that 3x5 card that you've written those 12 reasons, and share it in our Facebook group, okay? Because now you are alert to who is a prime prospect. And this is the first step to finding people who are looking for your opportunity. So knowing who is a prime prospect that you will follow up with to share more information is the key to you becoming a good and top recruiter. Okay, let's move to page 7. We're moving right along here. So you've learned who is a prime prospect, and you've learned about the 12 reasons people that I'm looking for you, okay? Now it's time to create a follow-up system. So let me share with you some important sales statistics, because follow-up is so key to this business. 48% never follow up with prospects. 25% make a second contact and stop. Is that you? 12% make 3 contacts and stop. Is that you? 10% make more than 3 contacts. Wow. Now here's the thing. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Only 2%. That's very, very few. 3% are made on the second contact. Doesn't go up much. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. and 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. But here's the deal. 80% of sales, 80% are made between the 5th and 12th contact. So that's so important for you to know because it's part of the recruiting process. It's part of that follow-up factor. And I'm going to share with you some great stories of how I recruited people because I kept following up, okay? Following up with prospects or people who are looking for your opportunity is the key to having consistent team members join your team. So you will follow up after every party because you found someone who needs to work, but is looking for something with flex hours. She's the person that you're going to hand that recruiting packet to. She's that prime prospect that needs to be followed up. You won't be signing up people at every party because you'll be following up after every party. That's the key. Sometimes, and once in a rare while, okay, someone will join at your party, but I call these lap jumpers. Okay, but it's really rare. The follow-up is where you build and you deepen the relationship and where both of you find out if this prime prospect is truly a good fit for your business. So follow-up is a skill that you're going to learn to be a top recruiter. We're going to help you master that skill. So I want you to take a minute here to make sure you have a very simple recruiting packet. If you have a recruiting packet that is jam-packed with too much information, you will not attract people to you. You will actually overwhelm them. You simply want to have 3 things in that recruiting packet: your company brochure, your catalog, and maybe a flyer about your team. That's it. Of course, everything has your information on it, but the key is to make it simple and not overwhelming. So part of your homework this week is to take this page, number 7, in your study guide and begin to write names of people you know. We're going to start this process, okay? When you have names on this page, you have prime prospects who are looking for your opportunity. You're actually developing a prime prospect list, okay? And once you follow up with them to invite them to hear more about your opportunity, you're going to learn if they are truly interested. So let's begin this prime prospect list because it is one of the big keys to you recruiting. So I want you to go over this list. Think about it. Who's your best customer? Write down her name. Who's been your best or most fun hostess? Write down her name. Who do you know who might need extra income right now? Have you noticed someone who's looking for friendships lately? Think about it. Have you noticed someone at parties helping everyone else? I bet you have on that one. Now, who do you know who might hate her job? Or have you seen a person at your party who loves being praised and recognized for her contribution? Or who do you know who loves lemongrass, is always talking about lemongrass and all your products? Think about that. I think you might know somebody. In a conversation recently, did someone mention they were looking for a second stream of income? Think about it. And who has kids in private school or college and is struggling to pay the bill every month? Do you know someone with credit card debt who's struggling? Or have you heard from someone who has never been a business owner and would love to be her own boss? Or who needs to work but has no one to watch the kids? Who do you know like that? Have you met a young mom who wants to get out of the house? Or have you noticed someone who's never had her own money? She's just relying on her husband's income. And which of your friends just thrives on recognition? You must know that person. And do you have a friend in the corporate world who would just love to have a fun job? So it's really important to have a friend who is looking for fun, right? And think about a friend who reads lots of motivational books. Who do you know is that? Because she's somebody who's looking for personal development. And have you met someone lately who's actually been in direct sales before, gets it, understands the opportunity to make a 6-figure income, but is kind of dropped out for a while? Think about who that person might be. What about someone who wants to take their kids to Disneyland and can't afford it? Now, all of these are reasons why people want to listen more about and hear more about your opportunity. They are going to be your prime prospect. So what we're doing here is you're developing what I call a prime prospect list. So I really want you to fill out this exercise this week, and it will help you begin to recognize people, recognize more people everywhere you go who are looking for your opportunity. Okay, now we're turning to page 8. We're getting there, okay? Hang in with me. We're going to talk now about how to connect with prime prospects. I want to, but before we get into that, I really want to share with you what I call the five prime prospects at every party. So I want you to write this down in your workbook on page 8. So the first one is your hostess, okay? She loves you and she loves your products. She always wanted, it is so important for you to share your business opportunity with every hostess. And I'm going to talk more about that in a live video in our Facebook group. The second is your first booking. That's somebody who's put up her hand and said, I want to do a party right away. She's really into you and your products. The third prime prospect is the person who orders the most. She's what I call your largest order. People who want to buy a lot of product usually join. The fourth prime prospect is the person who asks you a question. Any question really, but more specifically about your business, like how many nights a week do you do parties? And the fifth prime prospect is that person you get to have an intimate conversation with. When you have time to get to know people intimately, they usually share information that leads you to think that they'd be a great prime prospect for the business. So I want you to write down these 5 prospects, and I will review these more in our Facebook group as well. Okay, so now let's move on to how to invite these prime prospects to learn more about your opportunity. Because you're now holding your magic 6-pack every month, and you're getting in front of 50 or more people every month, and you're networking and meeting people out and about, and also you're talking to people online through social media. You're getting very clear with what to say when you follow up. So the first thing I want to teach you is what I call the Big Mac Connect. Now, the Big Mac Connect is simply a 3 to 5 minute either telephone call or maybe a text, not sure about a text, could be an instant message on Facebook, but MAC refers to the morning after connect. It could be the morning after your party. It could be the morning after you met someone at a networking event, or the morning after you get an email from someone wanting to know more. The key here is that you have to follow up the next day within 24 to 48 hours, because if you handed out a recruiting packet at your party, or maybe you gave somebody your business card at a networking event, or a recruiting brochure, you want to make sure you're following up the very next day, because this prime prospect is hot, okay? If you met her at your party, here's what she's doing over the last 24 hours. She's remembering you. She's remembering how great your products are. She's remembering the conversations you two had, the smile that you had, the beautiful smile you had, the way you shared the product. She just remembers the whole experience as being fun. And if you don't call her right away, then you are going to become what I call a fleeting memory. Okay, if you wait 4 to 5 days or maybe even a week later to follow up with this person, you will be a fleeting memory. Remember, the more time you take to follow up, the colder your hot prospect gets, or the less interested she gets. So that's why this is called the Big Mac Connect. Everyone will remember you because it's only been 24 to 48 hours since you connected. So the goal of this connect is to set a coffee chat appointment. Or if she can't meet with you, schedule a 20-minute telephone call or a Zoom session. Or even you might want to invite her to a take-a-look call that your company's offering. Remember, she's a prime prospect because you discovered she had a need that might be the solution for her. Plus, when you met her, you had a great connection. So she's expecting to hear from you. She's expecting your call because you had that intimate conversation at your party, or maybe you met her at a networking event. You're following up because of that conversation. She's expecting your call because you gave her the recruiting packet and you told her, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. She's expecting your call because she gave you permission to call at a specific time when you were handing her that recruiting packet. So because you might be said, well, I want you to take this home and look it over, and I'll call you tomorrow around 6. Will that work for you? So that she's expecting you to call. Don't let her down. Call her. Because she's a hot prospect. And you are a hot consultant who follows up within 24 to 48 hours, okay? So learning the skill of making Big Mac follow-up connects is key to you becoming a top recruiter and building a strong team. So I really want you to get practice. I want you to feel so confident and so excited, actually, to making these Big Mac connects that you're going to want to make them every day. So let's get practice at this skill by developing a script. Scripts are what I call success language. They help build your confidence. So we're going to develop a Big Mac script that you can use over and over and over every week. And you're going to invite prime prospects to hear more about your opportunity because you have a solution for them to join. Okay, so let's go over the goal of this connect, because I want you to remember this is not about getting someone to join. You are simply inviting them to meet you or get on a call with you or a Zoom session with you to learn more about your opportunity. It should only take 3 to 5 minutes. That's why part of the success formula is making 18 of these Big Mac calls. You can make 18 calls in 30 minutes if they're only 5 minutes each. So you make 3 to 5 Big Mac connects after every party. Again, doesn't take a lot of time, but it is, again, key that you do it within 24 to 48 hours. So let's get clear with the script. And I've written this down. It's all on your worksheet here on this page 9. So make sure you're going through this and writing some notes. The first part is what I call connect. And here's when you want to mention something about what occurred when you connected. Like, it could be simply like, it was great to meet you at Susie's party. That's the commonality, Susie's party, okay? Then you want to give a reason for the call. Like, it's the first reason is to thank her for her order, okay? Or thank her for meeting with you if you connected at a networking event. Or thanking her for taking the time to schedule this call if you gave her a recruiting packet. Okay, then now the second reason is because the two of you had that connection, okay? You discovered that she was definitely looking for a way to earn extra income. Maybe she asked you a question, how many parties a week do you do? Or maybe you were alert and you found she had one of those 12 reasons to join. But when you made that connection, you realized she was that perfect person that you wanted to go further with. So you always want to mention there is no obligation, and then you ask her to meet you or set a time to talk. So let's go over how to develop your own script with the Big Mac call in 5 easy steps. So step 1 is the connect, and it could be something like this. Hey, Betty, it's Gail with XYZ Company, and it was so great to meet you at Susie's party last night, or it was so great to meet you at our chamber event yesterday. That was the connection, okay? Make it genuine, make it authentic, okay? And that starts the conversation off great. Then you get right into the reasons, and that's in step 2, called the first reason. So Betty, the reason I'm calling is to thank you for hosting a party, or to thank you for placing an order, or to thank you for, it was great having that conversation with you, okay? I had so much fun with everyone at the party, and I've placed your order, and you should receive it on and give a date. Or Betty, I'm calling to thank you for taking the time to connect with me at the chamber event. I so enjoyed talking with you. Now we get into the real reason, okay? Which is the second reason, step number 3. So Betty, when we talked at the party, you mentioned you want to go over that conversation because maybe she asked you a question, or maybe she gave you a reason that, you wanted to give her a recruiting packet. And so go over what she said. And then you want to say, I'd love to meet with you for coffee, and just go over the information that I gave you in the packet. Or you could say something like, Betty, in our conversation in the chamber, you mentioned that you were looking for a second stream of income. And I'd love to invite you to listen to our company Take a Look call that is happening tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And I will be on the call myself, and I'd love to introduce you. Okay? So that's step number 3. You've gone through that reason. You always want to add step number 4, the no obligation step, because it's really important they get that. So you want to say, I'd love to share with you a little bit more about our company, and I think it would be of great interest to you because you said you needed to work flex hours around your kids. But Betty, I do want to assure you there's no obligation. Once you've heard more about our company, if it's not for you, you may know someone who might benefit from this opportunity. So you're really giving her a little out by saying there's no obligation. And she might come on anyway because she now knows that she can say no to you. It really takes the pressure off her about joining right away. So then you want to move into step number 5 and say, so I'm buying the lattes, Betty. I have next Tuesday or Thursday available. Which day would work best for you? Or the Take a Look starts at 7 p.m. and it's only for 45 minutes. And by the way, they offer a free gift for guests to attend. So would 7 p.m. work for you? So these are the easy 5 steps for you to follow up when you meet someone who has a need or a reason that you know will help her solve her needing extra income or maybe flex hours because she has to work, or just one of those 12 reasons. So I hope you've taken some good notes. If you need to replay, go back and listen to this section again, write down more notes. Take some time to put together your own Big Mac script, okay? And begin to make those calls or those connects as soon as possible. Now, as I said, this is a key area to team building and having a team of business builders who want to grow a successful, profitable business. So make sure that you get really comfortable using the Big Mac scripts. Now, on page 9 of your study guide is another exercise. And so this is what I want you to do over the next 4 weeks. I want you to actually print out this exercise. And after every party, I want you to write down the names of your hostess and the names of each one of the guests. And I want you to start determining just which one of these are prime prospects. And this could mean that you planted a seed where you had a wonderful, intimate conversation with one of these people. Or maybe you think back and, that was the person that asked me a green flag question. Because when you get into the habit of discovering 3 prime prospects at every party and following up with Big Mac connects within 24 to 48 hours, remember, to invite them to hear more over coffee, having that coffee chat conversation with you, or attending the Take a Look call, then you are on the way to building a team of business builders. So this ends your first week of the team building boot camp. I hope that you have listened and written notes in your study guide. And if you need to go back and listen again. But on page 10 of your study guide, I want you to complete your call to action. This is just so important because this is how you're going to learn the skills, okay? Think about what skill will you master to improve your recruiting? What will you do to overcome your fear of recruiting, okay? And then I want you to go to our private Facebook group and just share this information with your group. This is your private access to me through this page. Ask questions, get clarification, do all the exercises I ask you to do, and share with us your results. And get recruiting, okay? I hope you learn to love recruiting as much as myself. I loved helping people grow a business so they could make a difference for themselves and their families. That's what I call the compound effect, right? This is why team building is the core of your business. Okay, so one last thing before you go. I want to introduce you to the WITA, the W-I-T-A. It's an acronym that I developed when I was running my own business, and it stands for whatever it takes attitude. People use excuses. We all use excuses like, I don't have the money, or I don't have enough time, or they blame people for stopping their success. And this is what we call self-sabotage, right? People use excuses. We all use excuses. But we have to think about it. It's a mindset piece. And you want to think, if you were thrust into a life or death situation, you actually would find money, or you would make the time to achieve success, because that's what you have to think about. You've got to be willing to take the Witter approach, the whatever it takes attitude approach with your business if you want to be successful. So I want you to pay attention to your excuses. If you're hesitating to pick up the phone, I want you to think of the Witter. If you feel uncomfortable asking someone to meet you for coffee, think of the whatever it takes attitude. If you think you're not practiced enough to make a Big Mac connect, think of the Witter. When you say yes to opportunity and do whatever it takes, the minute you do that, your business and your income changes immediately. A Witter approach is one of the most empowering attitudes that you can have in business. It keeps you focused on moving towards your goals. It helps you find solutions, and it really helps you take action. So I look forward to talking with you next week on Module 2 in the My Mentor Biz Team Building Bootcamp, and talking with you on Wednesday. Don't forget Wednesday. It's really important to join our mastermind group, and developing that whatever it takes attitude to truly learn how to become a top recruiter in your company. You know, you have such a great company. Lemongrass is positioned right now to explode across the country. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in our Facebook group. So have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you in the Facebook group.